Music and sneakers have always shared a rhythm. You hear it in the tracks, see it in the videos, and you feel it in the streets. Every single pair tells a story. Today, I'm gonna be linking up with Clearweather, an independent footwear brand that's making noise through design, creativity, and culture. But before we get into it, if this is your first time here, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. I go by SWIFF D. I'm a music producer and sound designer out of Ontario, California. I started this channel to spark new ideas and to help you see and hear the world a little bit differently. So with that being said, in today's episode, I'm gonna be hanging out with the guys from Clearweather, talking about their origin, how they got started, and of course, you know your boy gotta grab a few sounds from their warehouse that I can turn into a jam that we gonna get into a little bit later on. That sound good? All right, let's get into it.
My name's Brandon Brubaker, and I'm one of the co-owners of Clearweather. It really started from me and my brother both being in the footwear industry and working for other companies. We decided we're just gonna start our own. It goes back to one of the brands I started in like 2000. It was a brand called Force. We felt like we were kind of the first athleisure brands, right? Like where we're like, okay, there's a transition from like skateboarding shoes to like runners and, you know, more technical shoes, hikers and stuff like that. And we just felt like there was nobody in that space. So we set out after it, and kind of the same MO on Clearweather. It's like, we really feel like we're like that bridge company that kind of does everything at a high level. And with the experience that we've had and everything that we know about footwear, we just feel like we definitely have something to bring to the table.
Does music inspire you at all when you're creating your shoe?
Oh, it completely does. Since I was young, since I was in my early 20s, I have certain songs that remind me of certain points of what I designed at that time and what I was into. You're pretty much always listening to music when you're designing, you know? It's like you got to get into like a certain mind frame to like really feel like you're exploring, you know? And I think music is pivotal in that.
Walking through Clearweather's office reminded me of when I was just starting to make music. You know, I just started to fall in love with the process of what inspired me to want to create. And it seems like every part of what Clearweather does every day is entrenched in the culture that inspired them to make sneakers. These are super hip hop guys. And as we started to talk and to connect on things that really inspired them, it almost felt like I was talking to myself. If Clearweather had a sound, right?
Right.
What would that be to you?
I feel like early on, it was like Tribe like influenced me a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it was like the perfect music, like it's what I was into. These are the Wampas, the one that pretty much sold out, right?
Yeah.
People that are like masters of their craft, that's like the people that we want to engage with, because they understand what we're trying to do in footwear. Logo in the name is my brother that actually like came up with it. Literally found the logo first. It's a pictograph that actually means Clearweather. When he found it, we're like, dude, we're from California. It's a sun on the horizon. When you really like look at the logo, this is where we're from. So let's represent like where we're at in our heads, like leaving corporate jobs and being clear-minded and clear vision, clear weather. It's like, you know, people always say, oh, it's like a great name for a apparel brand.
So as I was walking around Clearweather's office, it kind of already gave me an idea of the music that I was gonna make today. But based off the information that I heard from Brandon today and the sound that really inspired him, it actually was the perfect marriage. As I was walking around, I saw and heard Tribe Called Quest, which is one of my favorite groups of all time. So that's the element that I'm going for today. So now I'm already looking for things that I know I can piece together that can bring out the Low End Theory type Tribe music. You ready to get started, man?
You doing sounds?
Let's do it. So this is where it gets fun. Most people don't even hear the sounds that they're surrounded by at work every day. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Those everyday sounds in their space, that's the real voice of who they are.
one of those guilty sounds that is freaking super cool.
That's the kick drum right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
So is there a sound that you always hear while you're at work in here?
This is the sound. The most identifiable, like, you know, you think of basketball right away, but it's like not really. It's just footwear. The sound of opening sample bags is like always a nice sound because they're always in like a plastic bag to protect the shoe, and then like opening it, you're like, okay. And then we could drop it and see if it makes a sound.
Yeah, it has that little air compression.
That might have been cool. Huh?
That's sick. So I've been doing Nat-ure Average for quite some time now, and I must say this is the first time that somebody actually walked around and collected the sounds with me. It actually was super dope to see because it kind of put me in a perspective of like, okay, he's collecting sounds. What does he hear in this? How can I connect and make this come to life? So it was just cool just having somebody to just go through and like collaborate together on that piece. And of course, you know, I like to grab the most random things that I can find that the average wouldn't even look at. So it actually worked out pretty well. All right, so this is the fun part. This is where we get down to business and actually make the beat out of the sounds that we collected. And I feel like with those sounds right there, I can pretty much create any melody. So I took this sound from the alarm system, I pitched it down, I turned it into chords. Here it is without the effects. Now, I added this waterfall rotary plugin from Universal Audio, and I did RC20. So here's what it sounds like. It's like a perfect hybrid right in the middle. With that same sound, with that same alarm, I pitched it down even more and I created my bass line. So I pretty much have my melody down already. But one thing I like about boom bap beats from the past is they always had that ear candy somewhere tucked in the background. So I used the beat from the delivery in the warehouse. Beep. There we go. Subtle, very subtle. Now, last but not least here, the horn from the forklift. It sounded like a little bit of a cheap guitar. I added a wah to it, brought it to life, and I felt like it fits perfectly in my beat. So let's get to the drums. So this is the part that I feel like is the most challenging because the drums dictate what type of style you're trying to give off now. So since we're doing boom bap, I feel like I have enough to create a boom bap vibe. I found this sound called feed. I pitched it down about 6 or 7 semitones. This is what it came out with. Very punchy. Hi-hat wise, there was a sound in here called switch. And if you recall, it's the light switch that he was flickering earlier. So you cut out a lot of low end and then I saturated it, added a spring reverb, and this is what you get. Now the snare part is very tricky. So what I have here is I have this thing called a wood stack. I focus one on the high end and then I focus the other part of it on the low end. And that's where I add the body of that snare. I like to use this to clip my drums and give it just a little bit of a harmonic distortion. This is what the drums sound like with the kick, hi-hats, and the snares based off of the sounds that I collected in the warehouse. There was a pallet drop in there. And when I heard the pallet drop at first, I started thinking, this is the Tribe sound right here. That sound right there, here it is with the drums and the goes. That's pretty dope. Now, on accident, I saw that I recorded his voice and I was like, oh man, this is like hip hop 101 right here. I could take this sound and create ear candy. Just playing around and then. Now to me, this is done. I can hear Q-Tip getting on this right now, spitting something crazy. Now that was real fun. I took the idea and inspiration from Brandon and Clearweather and turned it into a Tribe Called Quest vibe that I think does justice. What do you guys think? Now, if you like what you saw, you like the music, you like the vibe of this channel, please like and subscribe and share this with a friend. I have a lot of fun doing this and I hope you guys enjoy this just as much as I enjoy making it for you. And what can I say? Thank you to Clearweather for making this happen. I've been a big fan since day one. I was very honored to be able to collaborate with you guys on my Nat-ure Average series. This is SWIFF D, and I just showed you right now that you can create anything out of anything around you. Sound has no limits.